Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Mind the Moments Thursday morning gathering brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. This is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino. So happy to be here this morning with Shanti Douglas, one of our mindfulness instructors with Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. So good morning, Shanti.
Good morning.
So nice to have you here this morning. It looks like a party in your background.
Love that. It's all good.
Oh.
Gotta wake up and do a little bit of a dance, right? Another
Yeah.
24 hours. What a gift. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad way to start the day, as well as with this community.
Yeah.
So welcome to everyone, and thank you to everyone for joining this morning. We're happy to be here with Shanti this morning. And today she'll start us off with a question, as we usually do, and then speak with us a little bit, share some thoughts, and then we'll go right into practice. And as usual, we typically practice at least 12 minutes, which tends to be the sweet spot for the amount of time that is really very beneficial for the brain for meditation. And after that, we'll have a chance for questions and answers and just chatting. So on that point, if you can go to the bottom of your screen and open up the chat and just click on everyone on the blue drop-down menu. That'll give you a chance to see everyone's comments and share your own with everyone. So good morning to everyone that's now joining, and welcome to our regulars, and welcome as well to anyone that's new. Just mentioning that anyone that is new will guide you throughout the process. Any of our meditations are lightly guided with a little bit of silence mixed in. So we have some opportunity to put some of our practices into practice in a silent environment, which is always a good thing to do. So with that, let's start off with our question. Shanti, what do you have for our group this morning?
Yeah, so the question that I would love us to reflect on is, what's an inner strength or virtue that you possess? One that you can identify as being part of your natural quality, your natural character. This might be, generosity, might be kindness, might be organization, diligence, determination. I know that's been me over the past few weeks, taking care of some householder things. But just really checking in with ourselves, those qualities of ourselves that drive what we do, and they focus our attention, and they really help to make sense of the world, whether we're aware of them or not, right? They might be evident and they might not be so evident. I love everything that's coming in here. With the compassion, lovely, more empathy, humor, right? Yeah, we definitely need humor in our world. Oh, great question. Okay, you just repeated that question. Patience and understanding. Yes, how much do we need that, right? Walking with that calm presence, that don't know mind, that curiosity, that seeking to connect. I love that. Reliability. Yes, we so need that as well. Creativity and loyalty.
I think we should all work in an office together. It would all work. We'd all be kind of in a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, definitely.
I love these are wonderful. Yeah, I would say the thing that comes to mind for me is optimism. And the other thing that comes to mind is I tend to make people feel comfortable. I've just got this, I've been told that is something that I do. I can sense if someone's not feeling at, a sense of dis-ease, and I like to try to make people feel comfortable.
That's
How about
great.
you, Shanti?
Oh, I would say, honesty, compassion, and even forgiveness, which is, for the big things and also for the little things as well. And part of that is self-forgiveness. I work with a lot of self-compassion. I think that's really has been important in my world and helping me to, sort of beat myself up for the foibles that I make. Yes, I do make those foibles. I don't want to carry them on because they're really heavy and they can keep us up at night and give us a sense of burden. And then also in relationship with other, having that understanding, having that dialoguing of, maybe we're not seeing the same way, but we can still not create harm with one another. So I think those are really important for me.
Yeah, lovely traits.
Yeah. And just before we get going, I do want to share a website called viacharacter.org. And you can click it now, but don't go to it now. And what you'll find on there is lots of information about virtues and characters and those inner strengths that we have. And there's a assessment. It's a free assessment. You can take it as many times as you want, and it will give you back a report of 24 characters, virtues, from what's most prevalent to you in this moment to what's least prevalent for you right now. And just take a peek at your top 5. And what we want to do is to play to our strengths. Part of the practice, maybe many of the reason why we come to mindfulness meditation is I want to create healing with my suffering, right? Or I'm very aware of this pain that I have, and I want to support myself. And sometimes I have found in my life that I'll spend too much time in the muck, right? And that uck and that muck is important, but we also want to really highlight, ourselves, the flower, our lotus. If you look at a lotus flower, the biggest, brightest lotus has the deepest uckus muck. But I want to highlight what's working well, because that can keep us moving in a really healthy direction without that stress energy and that depleting energy. So just wanted to offer that link in that website for just curiosity, investigation. Great to do with your family, great to do with your team, and definitely great to do with yourself.
Yeah, that's great to know. And, when you mentioned about the lotus flower, I was unaware of that. That's just a really interesting detail that it's such a metaphor for life,
Yeah. Like my teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, says, no lotus, no mud, no lotus.
Right.
You don't have, even in your garden, you need that fertilizer. You need those organic elements that might be pretty stinky, but they really give a lot of resources, and we can cultivate those seeds. And we can see our inner strengths as seeds, and let's pay attention to those that are already blooming, because that's really going to make our garden so much more brighter than trying to pick the weeds or spending too much time in those things that might not be growing so much. They'll come along when they're ready to come along.
Yeah, that's lovely. I love it.
Yeah. So on that note, let's bring that into our practice, our sitting practice today. And I'll invite you to come into a comfortable posture. So maybe you want to create a nice shift in your seat. I always like to rotate my shoulders back and around. Even in the morning, I find they tend to be, there's heaviness there. So I'm just stretching them, letting the shoulders back and down so the chest is nice and open. Gives the availability of the breath in the body. And the spine is tall and stable, yet also relaxed. Relaxing the belly, creating that physiological ease. And if you'd like to close your eyes, you can, or simply create a soft haze gaze, whatever feels appropriate for you, whatever feels right and good for you. And we'll begin by noticing the breath in the body, maybe inviting in a few deep or slower breaths, connecting with the feeling sense of the breath in the body, the gentle expansion as we breathe in, the clearing out. As we breathe out, there's a gentle letting go, a softening. You don't need to hold on to so many things. Connecting to the sense of your presence right now. Letting yourself drop into this moment, no matter what was before and no matter what may be after. And I'll invite you to bring your attention to your heart center as you continue to breathe in your body, noticing the heart center, the chest area. And as you breathe, perhaps becoming aware or inviting the heart to open. To creating space. And within that heart open space, connect to that virtue, that character, that trait that you mentioned before. We breathe into the feeling sense of that virtue. We breathe in that compassion, that loyalty, that reliability, whatever it was for you. And we do this in a way you can bring in a memory of a place and a time where this virtue was really alive and evident. It could be that you imagine yourself moving through the rest of your day with this as your guiding view. And connecting to the feeling sense of it, to the whole bodied sensory experience that this virtue, this character is you. Reaching into all of your cells, all parts of your body, all parts of your mindset. So that with each breath and each pulse of the heart, this innate trait of yours grows, gets brighter. Breathing that feeling sense of that virtue into your whole body and mind. Imagining and even setting an intention for this trait to lead the remainder of your day. For all interactions with others, with your work, and even with the relationship with yourself. We're cultivating what is to come. And to close our practice today, I invite you to place a gentle smile on your face, a smile of gratitude and appreciation for you, for your practice, for any benefit received. When you're feeling good, you can open your eyes and turn back to the space. It's taking your time.
Thank you, Shanti.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
It's wonderful to have that intention to bring into our day, to focus on that one inner strength. I think that's a lovely way to start the day.
Yeah, it's a nice way to set that intention and to, at least for me, to slow down and not just jump right into the day and do what do what the day is asking of me. You know, emails, phone calls, whatever. We're always being pinged, I feel like, by the outside. But let me decide how I'm going to show up. And that just seems to change the relationship. Even how I write my emails, how I respond.
Yeah, very true. It's something that, setting an intention for the day is not something we always do. I think about that, and when you join a yoga class, many times set an intention for your practice, which makes a lot of sense. But setting an intention for our day makes a lot of sense too. So thank you for that, and thank you for guiding us through that practice.
Thank you for receiving, and everyone else. And I'd love to hear if anyone has any comments or questions or how that was. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not easy, right? To even choose what is it that I want to bring in. Maybe it's just ease or spaciousness.
Yeah. No, I'd love to hear how it resonated with folks. Love the image of opening the heart and feeling your virtue or strength. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's important practice. Many of us might, sometimes our default is to look at the things that we want to improve, or what do we want to prove on today? What do we want to accomplish? And that's
I want to tackle. Yeah.
that's all good. Yeah, it's all good. But I do like starting with the intention of taking a little more control of the day.
Somebody's sharing, I sometimes feel empathy fatigue in the work I do, and practicing the strength of it is important. Yeah. And that empathy to self, right? Let me feed myself with that empathy that I'm really giving out to others. That's really important.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's it's a challenge, Julia. It can, depending on the type of work that you do, it's we can take on a lot of others burdens. Yeah, I can feel that in what you're saying. And interestingly enough, our practice can really help us with that. I even think of the short loving kindness kinds of practices that we can bring into our day.
Yeah, dropping into our heart for ourselves in a moment, to fill up our cup, to refuel ourselves is important.
Yes.
I love this reflection. I had a lot of racing thoughts, the whole to-do list thing. Yeah. This practice today really brought me to center myself with intention. I'm grateful. Wonderful.
Yeah. That is so natural in the morning, isn't it? I mean, it depends on your personality, but
let's go. I got it, right? Here's my list. Here's my second list of my other list that I already made last night to prepare, which is different than the list I made down in the kitchen. I'm a list person. I have a nice little recycling bucket by me. An exciting moment during the week is when I get to take that and put that in the bigger recycling bin. It just represents everything that I've checked the box off of, so for me, that works for me. So I get joy and excitement out of that completion.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That feeds your energy,
that diligence, right? That's and making sure that doesn't get too wobbly. Like, there's balance points, I think in all of these, diligence, empathy, right? Empathetic distress, empathetic compassion fatigue. So keeping our strengths in the place where they remain a strength for us and not a depletion for us.
True. That is a fine balance. Yeah. Brenda's mentioned that she had taken the VIA Institute quiz, part of the Science of Happiness course. Is that the Yale course? I can't remember the woman that taught that course. Yes. Yeah, she's good. Yeah. Lori Santos, right? Yeah, she's so good. Well, thank you for sharing all of this. And Shanti, thank you for sharing your guidance and for your practice. We appreciate everyone. Happy to be here with you all. And Tuesday, Roberval Oliveira will be here with us. So looking forward to that. So glad to be with all of you this morning. And I hope you have a good rest of your week and a good weekend. Thanks,
everyone.
Yeah. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.